Welcome.
Bienvenidos, bienvenidas.
Willkommen.
Ahla wa sahla to breakfast together.
So, hello. Another Sunday, another episode from our series, the interview series. We have been doing, I think, Dilemma here 4 or 5 so far.
I've lost count.
We lost count.
So
yes.
many of them. So many of them.
Yes, but we're happy to have another guest here, another friend. We met in, I think, first time in Budapest in 2023. And he's a polyglot. He loves, actually, we love him as well, the Greek gang, Telemachos and I, because he speaks Greek and he learned super fast. I can say that.
That's
I
true.
admire how fast you learned Greek, which is a difficult language. He lives in Portugal. He's in Lisbon. He's from Poland. He comes originally from Poland, and we met like 2-3 weeks ago when we all the podcast team went to Lisbon. So welcome, Piotr, Pedro, Pilo,
Hi
Petraki.
guys, yes,
Carlos
a lot of names.
Sirtes.
Carlos Sirtes. We
Yes,
wish we could
yes.
do this interview in Greek, but unfortunately, nobody will understand us. So
Not yet.
not yet.
Hi guys, thank you very much for the invitation. We had great time 2 weeks ago, and can't wait to have this experience with you.
Are you because recently I don't know when this episode will be posted, but they opened the registration for polyglot gathering this year.
Yes, I am.
You already, I think I've seen your name, right? And
Of course, yeah.
yes, I even made the joke that I this year, because last year you were the first person, if I'm not.
I was number 5, but it was,
Number 5.
I think I was the first person registered after the organizers. Actually.
I'm not sure if I'm the first one this year, but I'm in the top 5 list or top
Top
10
10
list.
maybe, yeah.
So I
And
made
I'm
the joke.
number
I made the
15
joke.
this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 15 only.
Nice.
Gotta keep the numbers up, eh?
So we are super happy that we're gonna see you there again, and maybe next time we meet somewhere else, we'll do another small gathering. So welcome.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So I mean, I guess because we are a podcast that we talk mostly about languages, also cultures, and how is like the life abroad and everything. But I would like to really, I know that you're not like this like typical polyglots that they speak all the Latin-based languages and maybe German or like Russian or everything. So you have a really nice combination of languages. First of all, can you please tell us which languages you speak, and maybe if you can also put them into different levels or fluent or not fluent, and then how was like your like the language learning journey started, like I know that you're already been to a university with like you went to learn languages there, or like how did it start, like in the school, or what's the case?
Yeah, so maybe I'll go chronologically, actually.
Better,
Yeah,
I think.
A Greek word.
Nice
to
Greek
start
word.
with.
Yes.
Greek word, yes.
We like Greek words.
So, my parents both studied languages, and my mom is an English teacher. I mean, she was, now she's retired. My father studied French, but he never worked with the language. But it was kind of somewhere there, at home. So I started learning English at a very early age. And then at school, I also had German. There was not much choice back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it was like German or French or maybe Russian. That's it, comparing to, the opportunities that people have nowadays. And then I got interested in Hungarian because we were traveling through Hungary, going to Italy or Croatia. It was always through Budapest. And the language seemed super exotic to me, and the countries seemed very familiar, actually. Like Budapest is like kind of Warsaw, but a little bit better looking, maybe a bit older. So I was always intrigued, like it was super exotic, very interesting, that weird language so close Um, so that the love for Hungarian was also born at that time. It's still in the maybe 1999 when I was first time there. And then when we went with my parents for holidays to Bosnia in 2002, I was listening to some Russian songs on a Walkman maybe or Discman or something like that at the time. And I was curious about the lyrics, and my mom spoke Russian, and I asked her to write down the lyrics for me. And she said I have to do it in the Cyrillic alphabet because it doesn't make sense to like butcher it with with Latin alphabet. And then she did it, and that's how I learned the Cyrillic alphabet. At that time
through songs.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just one question: is your mother knew Russian because of the love that she
Yeah.
had with languages, or is
Because of the times, so
Yeah.
everyone
Right.
had to learn Russian, and then
Russian
she
at the time,
liked English, she liked languages, so Russian was easy for her, so she could still remember even if she was not using it. So I remember, sitting in at the seaside and just trying to decipher what's written, how you handwrite the Cyrillic alphabet. Then I also learned Russian in high school and German. And then one day at school we had Dutch Day, something like that.
Dutch Day.
And Day of Dutch culture. There was like Italian,
Very interesting. It's very surprising,
things,
actually.
Yep.
From time to time we had those meetings. So there was a Dutch woman. She was working at the university in Lublin, my hometown, and she was talking about the language and the culture, and mainly the language. And I got very intrigued because it was like a really interesting bridge between English and German, the languages that I was really learning. So this is when I started learning Dutch, and then actually I was going to her classes at the university, me being still in high school. Then I decided to study linguistics. I studied in Warsaw. It was like a master program, German and English. So like written translations. I can also teach both of these languages. So then I went to study linguistics in Warsaw. But at that time I wasn't very interested in other languages or crazy polyglot, It was rather like it was enough for me at that time. And then I moved because I didn't go for Erasmus, there was no option during my studies. And when you study languages, it's very important to spend some time abroad, yeah?
Yeah, it's surprising. Especially for languages, I would imagine that it's a very helpful thing to do Erasmus
Exactly.
you doing Erasmus in Budapest, I imagine you would have loved it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So when I graduated, I started working in Warsaw, but my idea was always to maybe try and live abroad somewhere just for linguistic reasons. So this is how I ended up in the Netherlands.
Makes sense.
To improve my Dutch, yeah. So I lived there for 3 years.
Which city exactly?
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was actually living in Schiedam, which is like just next to Rotterdam.
Okay.
I was working in accounting, so nothing to do with linguistics, but with languages also. So using German on a daily basis.
Why German?
Because I studied German, and then it was easier for me to go, to the Netherlands, to like a third country, so not Germany or UK, because my skill was German speaker, so it was much easier to find a job.
But it was a German company, because it was in the Netherlands. So
yeah, I was working with German customers basically.
Okay.
A German market in the company.
Right, and if I'm not wrong, I think also there is kind of official language German in Netherlands, but it's in the region where Germany and Netherlands is they have borders, people tend to speak German there. So I guess there would be like a lot of they would have expanded to the German market a lot.
Yeah, of course. But surprisingly, in the Netherlands, I don't think a lot of people speak very good German
Okay.
because the languages are very similar, but maybe the same issue as there is with Portuguese and Spanish. Like all Portuguese people would understand almost 100% of Spanish, but if they can really speak real Spanish,
Yeah.
That's another question.
yeah, it's another question exactly.
Right. Okay. So 3 years in Rotterdam or next to Rotterdam.
Yeah. And then one day I visited a friend of mine in Portugal, a Polish friend of mine. And I fell in love with the language. I discovered it very late. I was 28 maybe at that time.
Yeah.
And I never learned any Romance language, so this was the first, because I thought they were all, I thought I knew what they are about, and I didn't like them that much, maybe, you know. But then there was this exotic Portuguese, so different at the end of Europe, you know.
Which we can also say that the sound of the language, the Portuguese in Portugal, not the Brazilian one, it's more like close to the Slavic languages, right? Like the sound,
Yeah,
and
it is.
maybe
It is
that's the
different.
connection there, right?
Maybe, yeah. So then I thought I needed to change my career also in the Netherlands. So instead of staying there, I thought maybe I'll try in Portuguese. It was quite in moving to Portugal. I mean, it was quite a romantic decision because the salary that I was earning
Yeah,
in the beginning in Portugal was half of what I was earning in the Netherlands.
no
So it was really,
comparison.
really just for the language, you know.
Big sacrifice.
Yeah, kind of. But I also the life in the Netherlands was a little bit too stable at that point. Like, not to say boring, you know. I thought
Right.
like I wanted to have a little bit more life.
Mediterranean chaos.
Yeah. Like the mentality of this Mediterranean, not even Mediterranean actually, in the case of
I would
Portugal,
call it Mediterranean still,
but yeah,
culture-wise.
Kind of, yeah.
Balkan chaos.
Balkan.
Yeah, was much more familiar. It is still to me.
So like in order to count, I lost the count of languages because I
Yeah.
didn't know about Dutch actually. It's one of the things I knew that you speak German. I knew that you keep learning Hungarian. So I lost count. How many languages do you speak, or how many languages do you think that you have a level that you can communicate?
8. I would say 8.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
communicate. Of course, it's different. Every relation with every language is super different.
Of
like
course.
Right.
so it's always hard to give this one number, but yeah, I prepared it. I did the math for you.
Okay,
before.
nice. So the one that we are, I mean, you might guess that we are interested into is like how and why and what is the idea behind learning Greek.
Demi could not wait to ask that question.
I
He
couldn't.
was,
I just need to ask one this question, and then I'm fine.
he was listening to
Okay.
one language after the other, and he was like, "When is Greek coming?
Where
When
is
is
Greek?
Greek
Where is
coming?
Greek?
When is Greek? Where is it? Where is it?"
Yeah, so Greek has been my passion for the last year, a little bit more than a year now. And it started. So I went for a road trip in August 2024 last year, and it was a crazy trip, like visiting 6 countries in 10 days.
Wow, that's very,
Yeah,
very compact.
doable though. Yeah. So when I was in the south of Albania, we were listening to Greek radio in the car, and I started liking the music and shazamming the songs, you know. Yeah, and then we also went for one night to Corfu, Kerkira, which is like 1 hour by ferry from Saranda.
It's super close, yeah.
South of Albania. um, and it just stayed with me. Like it started, through music, and then checking the lyrics, and then trying to repeat. Like it was always the case for me with
Mhm.
languages. So my main motivation was always, or this starting point was always, I want to speak like this. It sounds so nice. I want to
Nice,
sound like this.
nice,
With
nice.
Portuguese, it was exactly the same. Like Dutch was the same. Yeah.
Uh huh.
So the languages that I chose to learn. Yeah.
Right.
And it's another thing I say, like it's also a lot about music for you. So
Yeah.
music
It is. It is.
played a very big factor, like either music or like the enigma, like with Hungarian, like what is this language that's so, it's a culture so close to mine, but the language so different. So it's what keeps you like intrigued.
Yeah,
And
so the sound of the language, definitely, yeah. And I love learning languages from music. I
We're
also
not
have a lot of
surprised. We're not surprised. We see also in the polyglot gatherings last year, right? Or was 2 years ago. The
karaoke,
the karaoke, yes,
of course.
yes,
best
yes.
practice.
Yeah, because I really like listening to songs on the loop,
Yeah.
which is great to automate some things, like some expressions. Really, I learned a lot from music.
It does help a lot. And I also found it interesting that, many people when they want to learn like Greek or Russian, for example, they usually say, oh, but the alphabet, what about the alphabet? And it's funny because, first of all, I think that these alphabets are relatively easy to learn. Like, you don't need to spend as much time as you'd think. And I mean, for you, it was
Hmm.
also kind of part of the intrigue. It's like part of the mystery, I think.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you sitting like on the beach, like with trying to like read your mother's Cyrillic, like what does it mean, what does it mean?
Yeah.
So it actually made it even more interesting.
No,
Right.
to be honest, I love writing in Greek,
Uh-huh.
especially handwriting. I really enjoy doing it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's better than mine for sure.
And mine for sure.
yeah, it's a part of fun, and it's similar enough. It's not a different logic. It's still like kind of one sound represented by one letter.
Right.
Um yeah,
And I guess it's easier because, as Telemacho mentioned already, you already know the Cyrillic alphabet, which was for me as well. Like I think for Greek,
hmm,
learning Russian or people that know the Cyrillic, learning Greek is in 1 week you know everything, especially going
Mm.
from Cyrillic to Greek, because we have less sounds and less letters.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
And talking about Greek, it seemed very, because before I started learning Greek, I was learning Hungarian for more than 1 year, like quite regularly, like quite intensively. Uh, and then after Hungarian, this Indo-European Greek seemed quite easy actually. It was like like
Right.
a fresh breeze, like like a relief. Because even if the grammar might seem complicated, like three genders, grammatical cases,
Right.
you
Aspects.
know,
Yeah.
exactly. But I also know them all, these all from Polish or German,
From
That's
so
true.
Polish.
it already makes it much easier. So and also Greek has a lot of words that sound familiar, unlike Hungarian. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is very interesting, and I also love how the word formation in Greek. So kind of like German or maybe Polish, or maybe even Hungarian, but unlike Romance languages, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's very expanded. Like you have um, grafo, diagrafo, perigrafo,
Yeah. With
hypografo,
the
Yeah,
prefixes.
German.
engrafo.
German
Yeah,
do that a lot. I don't know any
exactly.
other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Polish, is that
Exactly.
the case with Polish?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. So
So
all
you
these
add like
prefixes,
how this is called,
prefix.
the prefix, yes, and you create like another word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, if I can compare Greek with German, I would say that I feel like that German has more vocabulary, so they can describe every situation with one word. Where in Greek sometimes and I kind of feel bad about that. But we use, maybe that's also in the vulgar, the one that we use in our daily life. We use, like, for example, kano, which is I make something or I do. In a lot of cases, like, you can replace something with kano kati, like I'm making something, I'm doing something, instead of using the verb. Where in German they have like all the verbs, like I don't know, even they have a word for doing Skype, like they use it, they take it from English, which is Skypen, but it's like still they create like a verb for that, or they get like a loan word. So I think in this case, comparison, but definitely Greek also has a lot of vocabulary. I just feel like when expressing things, you can be more expressive using German. Even we don't have the same motion as when we speak, the Greeks or the Mediterraneans, that we move our hands and like the body language and everything. I think it's more expressive in this case.
More precise also, yeah.
More precise, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Better.
Hungarian is pretty much like it also. Very comparable in this sense.
I think especially like when it comes to space, like spatially precise, which to be honest, I don't know about Polish, but I noticed the same thing with Russian, that you like say also like you put something in a lying position, you put something in a standing position, you put something like you have in German with like legen and stellen and stecken,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
would be
True.
like just one word in English or in
Or in Greek in
Spanish
this case.
Yeah.
or in
Okay,
Greek.
we do have it like legen or liegen, yeah.
Yeah.
Also that,
Yeah.
but also
Or
that,
Stellen.
for example, yeah, when you want to say in German,
Yeah.
I want to put something on the table, you can't just say put. You have to say, okay, how is it? Is it standing? Is it lying?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah. We have it.
in Greek and maybe other languages is a bit more lazy in a way. We could just
Okay.
say, I just put it. And if you need to specify, I mean, Dim, if you need to specify, you have the words, but I think we have the
We
option.
don't. We have the option, but we don't use them in our daily life, or at least I don't know. Speaking with Greeks and either my family or friends, we don't use. We kind of like just use one word and we replace everything.
You can
Yeah.
simplify
With
many
one verb.
things.
We simplify more things. Maybe because we are kind of lazy. Not everybody, but I'm talking about myself.
Of course
But it's
not.
actually it's very interesting how different languages or speakers of different languages find certain things important, or like you
Right.
need to make this distinction. Like in Portuguese, you have uh, here, here,
Ah,
There,
yes.
above
there,
there.
and
Yes.
there. Exactly. So you have like and somehow it's quite important, and you have to learn it. You have to embrace it, and you cannot just replace it, because like a key is closer to me,
Yeah.
IE is closer to you. Okay, you can theoretically understand it, but then when you have to use it, like sometimes it's not about like being physically close, and like it's a
Right.
struggle in the beginning to remember to use
Right.
all of these, but makes sense.
I still have that issue with Portuguese and Spanish, like when to use what here. And I mean, they also have subjunctive, for example, which,
Mm.
we like many other languages don't use anymore, and they don't see
Mm-hmm.
the need for using it. Like for me, as somebody who didn't speak any language with subjunctive, I
Mm.
was, speaking B2 level Spanish, and I'm like, what is the subjunctive that everyone keeps talking about, and I've never learned?
And I never learned, or I
And
never
I'm
Yeah.
used.
speaking fine. Like, why do I need it? And then it's like, no. Like, everything you say is wrong. You have to learn this one feature that's important for Portuguese and Spanish speakers.
And when the funny thing is when you talk to natives, when you say like about this case or the voice, I think it's a voice, right? Subjunctive voice
Mode, I think they call it.
or mode, yes.
Mood. Yeah, mood.
Yeah, they don't know. They just say like, no, that's how we call it.
Mm.
We don't know that we are using it, and we are like, like how do the verb conjugation change from this verb to
Yeah.
this verb?
Yeah.
I had the same thing
uh,
with Greek and aspects. Like,
mm-hmm.
I didn't know what aspects were, and like somebody told me, "Oh, Greek, it's so difficult with the aspects," and I'm like, "With what?"
Have aspects.
And then I
Exactly.
had
Actually,
to have a polyglot who's learning Greek explain to me what aspects are in Greek.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned subjunctive, conjuntivo, it's called
conjunctive.
Subjuntivo, no?
in Portuguese. Yeah, conjuntivo,
No.
subjuntivo in Brazilian maybe. Um, it's funny because it was one of the things. So I was learning Portuguese, and then I wanted to mention actually there are always some of those things that that you just think you would never master and they would never be uh, come naturally to you.
Hmm.
And I gave up. I gave up on some of them. One of them was subjunctive, conjuntivo. Uh, and then after, I don't know, 5 years of living in Portugal, I realized that, oh my God, I'm using it now.
you
Like,
know
like it came
Yeah, yeah,
naturally.
yeah. It
it,
like
Uh,
the natives learn it basically. Like they don't think
yeah,
about it; it
right,
just happens.
yeah. So
exactly,
sometimes
because
it works when you just,
it's I think it's a repetition, and I've heard once, like I was in the same with Spanish. I was like, I will never learn this, and I just like give up and say, okay, I'm gonna learn how it's conjugated, and maybe in some phrases, but I'm just gonna leave it, and if it comes, it comes. And
exactly.
later, when you hear like maybe 5 to 10, 20 times the same verb, or like they, let's say, espero que, like in Spanish, then
Hmm.
you need to use this the conjunctivo. You just use it because you hear the people saying like changing a
Exactly.
bit of the verb, and you just like using it. That's, I think, the repetition, and the same as Dilemma has mentioned, is like how a native speaker or a baby will learn this
Hmm.
mood.
Yeah, and then I realized that now sometimes I catch myself wanting to use it in Polish, even if we don't have it in Polish, but like to make to make this verb a little bit like less direct, but using uh, some more like a suggestion or wish, being more careful, delicate with it or something.
No.
That's crazy.
Maybe you can help Polish evolve into a new form of Polish. You can make Polish more complicated, maybe.
Always.
So, by staying in the topic of languages, I just need to ask you, because you mentioned that you, or like, I don't know if that's a way that you learn languages, but it's kind of, you get motivated, you listen to a song, or you listen to songs from a specific country and the language in this case, and you get motivated. Do you have like a specific way that you learn languages, or do you think that there is one way to rule them all, like one specific, let's say, way that you follow always, or do you mix up? You start with maybe listening to languages and listen to songs and try to decipher what this word might mean, or this phrase, or you go with by the book and start with learning grammar, and maybe then listening to what's your take here.
Yeah, so music is always like the starting point for me, like the inspiration.
No.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but then every language that I learned in a different way. I would say
Uh-huh.
slightly, um, but I think there is one method that fits all. Not really method, but feature. Let's say it's consistency.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that.
Boring.
Exactly, I know. No magic, but it's like hours spent and regularity, and
Yeah.
that's it. But my approach with Greek, for example, was getting as close to immersion as possible, living in Portugal, right? Not having a lot of Greek friends here close or whatever.
That must have been tricky,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but you have to create it and yourself, right? And it's doable. And on the other hand, also, when you move to a country to learn a language, it's also not guaranteed that you will have a full immersion experience, because you still have to create your environment
Yeah.
and meet people and have a reason to speak that
Hmm.
language,
To
whatever it
motivate
is,
you,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because it's so easy to live with expats and use international English all the time. So it also needs some effort. It's yeah. Don't
Right.
take it for granted that if you live in a country, then you will. Yeah, of course, you are
Learn the
surrounded
language.
by the language. Yeah, but not if you don't learn the language actively,
Hmm.
Right.
don't make efforts. It will not come naturally just by living in the country.
You will be
Yeah.
just stuck in your bubble living in that country.
Yeah,
Which you
yeah,
can do,
exactly.
definitely. You can find, like, as you say, like, in, I don't know if there are like a lot of Polish people in Portugal, but you can stick stuck in this bubble and just speak this language, maybe basic Portuguese, and get, like, go to the supermarket and live your life there, and then just speak your native language or another language, English in this case.
Absolutely. And even when there is a group of 6 people and maybe 5 would be comfortable speaking Portuguese,
Yeah.
but one is not really, then we all speak English. That's
Yeah.
it, right? So it's very easy. Yeah, you don't even have to look for your people. You will, yeah.
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 I had the same problem actually in Germany. Like it's very rarely that in any international context, because also German is a very hard language, that everybody will speak German. So usually there's at least one person who doesn't, and then everybody switches to English, and it makes learning even harder actually.
Or even everyone does speak, but it's still more comfortable for them to speak English.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what this is the case in my group of friends very often, and I'm always like pushing to let's speak Portuguese. At least we are in Portugal, you know.
Yeah.
None of us ever lived in an English-speaking country. It's like, yeah, but
Nice. I
it's
mean, depends on as
people
well
are
also
lazy.
if, yeah, it depends also if the level of the Portuguese. If let's say we have a B1 to B2 speakers, let's say most of the majority, and there is one that is A1 to A2, of course it doesn't make sense because yes, you can practice your listening, but probably you cannot participate. Then of course you can find ways, like replying in English and then just listening and try to understand. But there's gonna be in the end the language is like for communication, right? So if you want to, let's say, hang out outside and have a good time, of course you will go with a more comfortable situation. But I understand what you're saying, and I think I also made this mistake in the beginning of not or pushing to other people to speak switching to English because I was not I didn't have a good level in German, which I find right now like as a mistake. But yeah, I understand that sometimes could be a bit trickier.
And going back to learning a language, so with Greek, I was doing everything and anything. Also, these are two important. So
You
like,
even traveled a lot in Greece, right? Like you've been
yeah,
twice
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
thrice, more
yeah,
than
yeah,
me or
yeah. 4 times. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But like watching, writing, listening, doing grammar, even reading an article on Wikipedia about the Greek language. I already treated it as I did something today, like
Yeah,
I learned,
yeah.
Yeah.
like just any contact, anything. Just so my thing is also with do anything is you can literally do anything. Don't force yourself like, oh, you have this book to finish or something. But like I feel like checking the lyrics of this song today, and this will be all I do today with Greek. I don't know, half an hour or something like
You
that.
keep in touch with the language basically all the time,
Nice.
whatever
Exactly,
happens.
exactly. And don't make any plan like this day I do this book or the other day I do grammar or something like that. It just whatever I feel like, because in the end it's my hobby.
Right.
So I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to force anything, and I'm doing it for myself anyway. And then if you're consistent, if you do it regularly, then after a certain time, you always see the progress, and it comes like by surprise to you.
Naturally, yeah, yeah, true.
It comes really like you realize how do I even know it? But then yeah, you don't see it every day or every 3 days. But if you are consistent, then you would see it from time to time, like after a longer time.
No. Trust the process, as they say.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely.
Nice.
What would you say is like the most difficult part of Greek for you, of learning Greek?
So in the beginning, it was the word stress. As a Polish, as a Polish native speaker,
Yeah.
we have a very regular word stress. So all the languages that have it moving, like Russian, or actually most of the languages, English even, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
English
Uh,
is chaos. It's
yeah. So in Greek, at least it's marked always, but then
you're
I can
welcome.
read it when it's marked, but when I have to say it, it's more difficult. Uh, and yeah, the pronunciation is well, actually the pronunciation is quite easy because there are no complicated vowels. So for me, the vowels are more
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah, yeah. The consonants, you got them nailed down if you speak Polish, I think.
Yeah, maybe the yeah, there are some a little bit more tricky, but like there are a lot of long words in Greek that only after a while make more sense because you realize that okay, this is this plus this plus this. That's why it's so long.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the beginning, I remember that remembering a word like panepistemio was so. I cannot believe it now, but yeah, less than 1 year ago, it was a difficult word for me to remember.
Or I mean, even the
Nice.
word "ευχαριστώ," like thank you in Greek, I think it's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the
There are a lot of
longest ways to say thank you in a
Yeah,
language.
mean language. I mean,
yeah,
Russian as well has a long one. Not the. No, actually, they don't have.
The
Spasibo.
I
official
was.
one, "Здравствуйте."
Yeah, it's like the hi, so it's not the thank you. Yeah.
Like a dario, I think is the thank you, right? The official.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But otherwise, people were saying, "Oh, the passive verbs," and yeah, of course, all the inflections and all the grammar in the passive verbs are kind of annoying also in the beginning. But then, yeah, it's like the language is a living organism. Yeah, you don't ask why do you say like this. You just accept it as it is. You just learn whatever there is. You have to just embrace it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, we could go for long, and I think we can also keep some of these conversations for when we meet in person. Really interesting. The next thing that I would like to ask you is like, as you mentioned, you've already been to. I mean, you live first, you're born and raised in Poland, then moved to Netherlands, and now in Portugal, in Lisbon. How is like life there? I mean, you mentioned like you wanted to go to the Mediterranean, the south, and you fell in love with the language. What is the difference that you see, the cultural differences between Poland and Portugal, and also maybe Netherlands?
there are a lot of differences
Okay.
in the like mainly the mentality of people and like how you live.
Yeah.
So moving from the Netherlands to Portugal, uh, yeah, it's a different world because in the Netherlands everything is about efficiency. At least this was uh,
Makes
my
sense.
impression. Yeah,
Yeah.
and in Portugal, I would say is the opposite. Like no
inefficiency.
one cares. Yes,
Inefficiency.
no one cares about efficiencies. There are other things that are more important. So this is already a big difference. I remember when I moved here, and I was sharing a flat with two guys, uh, and my idea was, oh, so whenever we buy something for the flat, we can have this app splitwise or whatever it was, like we used to use in the Netherlands, and we
Yeah.
will just put it. Then we will share the bills. What a great idea, right?
Going
Yeah.
Dutch.
And they were no, like what do you mean? Whenever we need to buy something, one of us buys it,
And in
and
the end,
that's
it
it.
works
And
out.
yeah, and I was like I was very surprised actually. Like, what do you mean
Okay.
you didn't like the idea? Such a brilliant idea! It's so efficient and so fair, and
You're welcome, guys.
and it totally didn't work here. So yeah, I took some time to also understand, yeah, how it can work for Portuguese people. Different things, yeah, a lot of things. Like they love queuing, for example. They are so patient. I had to learn. Everyone has to learn patience in Portugal.
In
Everything is like,
Portugal, okay.
They love
yeah,
queuing Portuguese.
yes,
I thought the Dutch would love
like.
queuing.
Yeah, I would say so. The same.
mm, Yeah, but queuing like at the bus stop, there is a queue
To
to
enter
Uh-huh.
to
the
enter
bus.
the bus. Yeah,
Mhm.
and
So
also everyone has to enter through the front door. So imagine if
yeah,
there are 30 people entering a bus.
Yeah.
yeah.
It takes ages. Some of them are buying tickets. It would never work in Poland. People would kill each other, because no one. The bus is standing for 5 minutes at a bus stop, yeah,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
wasting time. Where is the efficiency?
People in a
It's
hurry.
in the north of Europe. It's not here.
Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't expect that they are so patient because I think Greeks are normally considered impatient.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
do
again,
not queue.
depends.
Queues are like
Yeah, we
just
don't queue. Like everybody's going like different doors of
whoever
the
pushes
bus and just
most
queuing.
and gets in front is
Mm.
first. That's it.
Exactly, exactly. So it's surprising.
And
And like,
also,
go
uh,
ahead.
like I realized that the rule number one maybe in Portugal is you cannot rush people. Like
Mm.
you, so it has to do with patience again. But whenever I was a little bit like, oh yeah, I've been waiting here for 10 minutes or whatever, I was kind of more like annoyed and trying to hurry up, make someone rush.
Yeah.
Uh, they look at you, they just slow down. They probably think you are extremely rude, first of all, because like, how can you even tell someone to hurry up?
Okay.
And it has the opposite effect. So they actually slow down. Um, this was my experience, and then yeah, I don't do it anymore because I felt so stupid many times that I just gave up.
Mm.
So in Poland, for example, you would actually like tell somebody hurry up, or you would be vocal about it.
Yeah, actually, in Polish and maybe in Slavic languages, we I realized lately that we use a lot of imperative, so
Mm-hmm.
like we don't say could you or like
Yeah.
this English
True.
please at the end of the
Yeah.
sentence, or like, but we just say like give me this, and it's like such a normal way,
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's more direct.
there is yeah.
That would be difficult for. I think I'm not quite sure about the whole Mediterranean countries, but for us Greeks, I think we use a lot of parakalo. Like it's the word that whenever you ask somebody like a coffee or something, you always use parakalo. You always say ithela, like these words, which is like I would like or and please and thank you. So this directness, I think I've seen it also sometimes in Germany, which was like a cultural shock in the beginning. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow.
You
hmm
feel weird
hmm
like speaking like this.
Yes, is it like other like a rude or it's the culture? But later, when you live and you experience you have a lot of experience. You live in the country, you understand that that's how they learned to interact.
But I think in Greek we also use the imperative a lot, but you would make it some like you would add some more things or change the tone of voice to make it more like nice. Like φέρε μου αυτό ρε εσύ. Like you
But
hmm
can
No, no,
you wouldn't talk to somebody like I mean, if I go to a
not in
place to ask
public, but
for
for example, if
not
you
in
want
public,
to ask
yes,
like somebody you would still use the imperative, but you would like
yes,
just like make it a bit more friendly in other ways. I think, especially tone of
yeah,
voice.
yeah, yeah, true.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean is informal. Yeah, like among friends or at home with your family. Like we don't use any proszę or could you
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
but you just say it in a nicer way. Give me that. Yeah,
Yeah, change the tone
that's
of voice, and then it becomes more
yeah.
more polite.
Exactly.
Nice. And since we're talking about like living abroad, do you have like anything that you like, any habits or anything? I mean, you mentioned that you're like queuing up and you like queuing up maybe now, and you have this patience right now. Do you have like do you feel that you picked up after living 5 years in Portugal? Is that right? 5 years, right?
10 years
10
almost.
years already.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, after 10 years, do you feel that you're more like, let's say, Portuguese than Polish, or how do you feel?
No, I definitely got some Portuguese features after so many years. Um, and yes, I'm much more patient. I'm way less appalled by things or like impressed. Like it's it's hard to impress Portuguese people, I would say.
Okay.
Negatively
They
or
are very
positively?
calm. I would say, I don't know, actually. It depends on the situation, but it's they are very calm. And yeah, sometimes you see someone looking so weird in the streets, so outstanding for some reason, and like no one really cares, you know.
Okay. We should have made this discussion before our trip to Lisbon, especially for patients, because I think we had the situation where we were kind of impatient in a cafe, and people were like super, tranquilo,
Halara.
halara, yes, super chill and
Yeah, I remember
nice.
that one. Yeah. All right. So another custom we have in the interviews is that we ask our guests some quick questions about their likes. And so, Petraki, uh, what is your favorite country for food? Like, what are your favorite cuisines?
No surprise, Greece.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, yeah, really, because it's you eat a lot of vegetables, you eat a lot of different types of. Yeah, it's very diverse. The food, I would say. Yeah, I love it.
True. Living
Yes.
abroad, I think I would say the same. Like, it is pretty good cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your favorite country when it comes to people?
For sure, it would be somewhere in the south. Maybe even Portugal. When I think about it, so this calmness and patience, I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Because we are
Uh,
impatient, as we mentioned in Greek, so maybe stick with to Portugal. We're not gonna be offended.
but I also like the Balkan mentality, a little bit crazy,
Yeah.
but warm-hearted. You know, yeah.
Crazy and warm-hearted. That's a good summary for the
Describes
for the
us.
Balkan people. And do you want to get the last one?
Yes. And the last one is favorite country for language. I mean, you are so diverse, which I don't really know what you will. I'm expecting here, but
So it's phases. I already lived in the Netherlands to learn the language. I'm living in Portugal, where
yeah,
I moved to learn the language, and now I
maybe
would like
Greece.
to
Next one.
exactly maybe Hungary, maybe
Maybe
Turkey.
Hungary.
I would like to start Turkish also quite soon.
Asia
So
would be
yeah, but
very happy about Turkey, and
yeah,
she's
I
also
know.
sending her regards, by the way.
Yes,
Hi
you
Asia,
have.
cześć.
Cool,
But yeah,
cool.
definitely my area now is somewhere around the Balkans. Yeah.
Okay, nice,
Crazy and
nice.
warm-hearted.
Cool. I think we can start wrapping up. One thing that I want to mention, I took a note of this. It's what you mentioned before about learning a language is, especially when you live in a country, a lot of people think that you should live in a country to learn the language, and that's not true. I think you can like create your own environment, even if you live, as you already mentioned. We have the result here in front of us. Like Piotr, after 1 year learning Greek without living in Greece, of course, you had the chance to travel, and you were like, as you mentioned, but without that, you just like built like you're surrounded by Greek, and now we can have a conversation in Greek pretty good level. So get out of your bubble. That's what I would say, and uh, keep that like as a closing note for our listeners and for the fellow language lovers.
So from my experience, consistency, do it regularly, do anything. Again, this is very important. Whatever is your topic of interest, it has to be interesting for you and you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um I would also like to mention that it's never too late to start a new language because I started Greek. I was already 37 last year.
Oh.
And when you think about it, like, for how many years have I been learning English?
Yeah.
And like, I would never. There's no
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 comparison.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it still makes sense. We learn very differently when we are adults.
Hmm.
So And also, one important thing for me was to, whenever I start learning a language, I want to bring it to at least B1 level. And then, only then I can stop. Because my experience with Hungarian, that I mentioned that I started learning when I was around 15, but it was always like A1, and then back to 0. Then going to A2, and then forgetting everything again because I was stopped learning. So it took me like 20 years to start speaking it a little bit, and only when I got it to B1, I think it's a little bit more solid, and I will not forget it like I did before.
It's also the level where you're more conversational. You can also understand, maybe read a simple book, understand a podcast. So I think it's when it unlocks a lot more than, you're out of the ivory tower of academics, and you can actually now interact with the language in real life a lot more.
Definitely.
And remember it when you need to. But
Perfect.
yes, it's been a great interview. We had a really nice time, and we hope you too. Piotr Petraki.
Thank you very much, guys.
Petros.
Efharisto, Polly.
Thank you very much, and see you around. We're not gonna see each other really soon. I mean, it's in 6 months, but
Time's flying.
Time flies. Yeah, I
can't wait. I really can't wait. I'm so looking forward to it. So yeah, looking forward to see you in person, and thanks to all of our listeners for listening. And yeah, Kussi, obrigado.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Have a nice Sunday.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Have a nice Sunday. Bye bye.